How y'all doing, man? Welcome to a new season of Damn the Cat. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm straight. I'm by yourself. I'm Snap.
I'm Dr. Sand.
And we're here to talk about everything you want to talk about sex, life in general, things that, in our common community that we need that I think we have to touch on as we getting older in life.
Yes.
If you agree?
I do. I do. I'm almost 50 and life.
I'm knocking on the door at 20. I feel it.
So, life is like, nobody told us this stuff. Why
Exactly.
didn't they tell us this?
And then you go back and ask the older folks, they didn't know. Not or they wait till we get 40 or 50. They didn't want to tell us about it. Too late now.
Right.
So it's a blessing. Like I said, my name is Snap. I want to thank everybody who has been watching us, supporting us. That Ebon Vision. This weekend, I was, I had to find me a assistant. I won an award. I want to thank the Fats Foundation and their committee for this Media Mogul. I was up for a Media Mogul award, and I thought it was next week, but I had so many things going on. I got to find me an assistant. I didn't know that. Trying to put everything in your brain and trying to think you forget. That's the first thing that goes is your brain. You forget. Oh man. So I definitely gotta get an assistant, but I definitely want to thank, like I said, the Fats Foundation, Ebon Vision, especially you, Cassandra, Miss Dr. Sand, Andrietta, especially the man upstairs in my family. But most of all, I want to thank the Facing family, and my heavenly brother who's up there, Tony Facing, Mr. Exclusive, who introduced me to this, and ever since then, it just took off. So if it wasn't for him, and thank you for just blessing me. This award is definitely dedicated to you and your family, man. I really appreciate that.
Well, congratulations.
Other than that, man, relationships. Oh,
Yes.
we're gonna talk about harder, it's the dating or all that stuff. But I think there's some rules that we need to talk about that's common in our culture. And we talked about the in the bed, outside the bedroom, inside and outside the bedroom.
Yes.
What's you think some of the topics that some of us that we need to learn going into, I guess, a new relationship.
Right.
I'm gonna say to me my number one is say of course communication, but to me don't ask important questions 1st. I think we should find out find out who the person is.
Right.
That's my opinion from a male point of view.
That's a good point of view. One thing I would say though is before you get into any relationship, and that's whether it's work, whether it's personal, no matter what kind of relationship, you have to know the boundaries. And the boundaries are what you expect, what you want out of it, because you may want something different than the person that you're actually meeting, and you know that off the bat. So you have to know what you want in a relationship. One of the things that I absolutely hate is to hear somebody say, "Oh, I'm just going with the flow."
Yeah.
You can't just
to
go
me
with the flow.
that's wasting time already.
It is.
That's the first key without even knowing that's you're doing. And one thing I do research. I'll say do research on that person. Like know the history. To me, asking a question like what happened in your last relationship, that's no concern, because to me I feel like you're putting pressure on yourself. If I know that he cheated, then I know I might not cheat, but still she's or he's already going to have a sense of insecureness anyway. So that's why I don't even ask. Like I'll say how what's your longest relationship or how many relationships you had within the last couple years. I'll say that instead of asking what happened in the previous relationship. Right. That's just my opinion from a man point of view.
Right.
What you think about that?
I think that's very important because it gives you an idea of what their mindset is, whether they're fleeting, whether they're, just looking to date, if they're looking for something serious. Usually if somebody's looking for something serious, they'll tell you that right away.
For real.
But I think one of the most important things that you have to do is just be honest. Yeah. At the very rip. If you're not looking for a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you're looking for, you need to let that person know up front.
That should be said first date.
Right.
As we're dating, we're talking, what are your expectations of this?
Right.
I always do it all the time. I'm looking for a wifey. Now, that means you might not be looking for a hubby, but I'm letting you know my standards of where I'm at.
Right.
So I'm going to do hubby type of things is because I'm trying to show you what I am if you decide that you want that route. Some people just want to be, as they say, friends.
Right.
And nowadays, these friends, what's this the new word? Like, okay, that's friends. Is that Just say, is it friends with benefits? Is it friend, or you just want to be cool? To me, a friend is, hi, I'm gonna call you and check on you every now and then. To me, friends don't have sex.
Right.
It's that's I'm old school with it.
Right.
But you think nowadays is, I want to be your friend, but you don't. We're having sex, not doing this stuff. But now you're asking questions on, oh, if you're my friend, why are you asking where I was at last night? Why are you, who you bit last night, or who is this? When you see, especially off the internet, or now we have social media. It's like, well, who's that commenting under your pictures and all that? Like, hold on, that's girlfriend question. I thought we were just friends.
Right.
So I think we definitely set boundaries.
Right. You have to set those boundaries, and you have to know what your expectations are when it comes to a relationship, because that tells you how you maneuver in it. You know,
Correct.
if you supposedly with somebody and you're trying to be exclusive means that it's just y'all dating.
Exactly.
And that you may not be boyfriend, girlfriend yet, but you're exclusively dating that one person. Those terms and those words need to be heard and need to be out there, and
Correct.
with your expectations.
If you say we're just friends, I got friends too. Then that means we're here for our friends.
Look,
I got somebody else going to call. So if somebody answers my phone, who's that? That's the friend. Ain't we
Right.
friends? You know, we're not exclusive. So why are you asking that? So I definitely agree with that. But definitely ask those questions. You know, the first date, you know, the second date, and I know out of the bedroom. You know, what are you doing? What is your goals? You know, I always say, you know, talk like. What's your expectations within the 5 years? Were you looking to buy a house? So, you know, see what their goals are. You know, not trying to dig in their pockets or know what they're doing, but at least you know that they're goal-oriented, and hopefully they're going somewhere and not just stagnant and I just want a man or I just want a woman for now.
Right.
Nah, I think that's another thing we need to talk about.
Right. And that goes along with those boundaries. Because if you're looking, as you said, you're looking for a wife. So you're looking for wife material. You know, how do they look as far as motherhood or parenting?
Correct.
Because you have children, even if you do not have children together because of our age, you know, you want to know
Trying
that.
to combine them as one.
Right. You know, and you want to make sure that, you know, they have a motherly type personality with your children, you know, or, you know, do they want to cook? You know, that's important because y'all going to have to eat. You know, what you gonna do? You gonna sit there and order out every day? I can't afford it.
Can't afford that.
No.
Can't
So,
afford that.
you know, do you cook? Do you not cook? Do you want to learn how to cook? I mean, those are basic things that we take for granted, but it really needs to be out there on the forefront, especially now because these young girls, they don't like cooking.
Woo, wait, you hit it, because I was about to go into that. You said cooking. There's a lot of women who don't know how to cook. I'm so old school that women our age, when we was growing up, knew how to cook because their parents was home cooking. So, you know, when they were cooking, they learned. But nowadays, these girls don't cook. Let's go out to eat. They go out real fast, like, wow, I don't like, I met this one chick, I ate lasagna. Oh, that's my favorite. I like stove top. So I said, that's what you get at the out the grocery store, right? She said, cook. She said, yeah, I don't cook it. We always eat out. Check. That's a red flag. Because I like to eat. When I come home from a hard meal, out of 7 days out of the week, I'll cook 3 or 4.
So would you say that's a deal breaker for you?
It's not a deal breaker, but if she can't cook, it definitely is. Because I can't do the cooking, and I'm pretty sure if that's her, and if her children's a package, that's her and her children. I'm gonna have to cook for it, and I'm working. To me, that's already too much. You're supposed to be equaling out the levels or the workload that's inside the home. So if I'm already cooking and she's not cooking, then she's gonna count on me to cook.
Well, let me ask you this. Say she has a great job and, you know, she's put together and everything, and she orders in all the time. Are you willing to accept that? As long as your meal is provided for, so to say.
That's cool. Long as she providing for it. And at the end of the week, I don't want her to say, "Baby, I ain't got no more money." Or, "Bro, can you know, that's don't do nothing to please me. Do something to please us." Okay. You feel what I'm saying? That's my opinion. Because if I'm a cook, you're gonna cook. If you know how to cook, I'm not looking for, but hoping that at least out of the Monday through Friday, at least 2 days, 2 or 3 days she can cook. I cooked other days because on Fridays, usually on Fridays and Saturdays, I don't really cook, especially Sunday. Sunday's really, you know, I grew up. Sunday's the big meal. So we Friday, Saturday we didn't cook. We was a sandwich or whatever. We go out to eat, but definitely Sunday's the makeup day. We get up, go to church, come home and cook. Right. That's the big meal. So if we can't be in the kitchen together on Sunday, then I'm just old school with it. But like you say, she could provide the meal and it's there. I'm cool with it. That's less I got to do.
So, going back to talking about healthy relationships and, starting relationships, what if her background did not have the traditional Sunday meal like how we were talking about?
If she's willing to learn, she can come in the kitchen with me. Google teach you a lot. YouTube teach you a lot. There's some meals I made off of Facebook and stuff, and to do the same thing.
Yeah.
There's instructions on the back of the box when you cook. So if you're not even putting forth the effort of trying, then to me, why are you doing it? I just ain't come out cooking. I had to learn. So baby, let's go ahead and let me see if she's willing to do that. Sometimes we have to. I don't want to say retrain like you're a robot, but sometimes you have to, if you're going to build a family, because you're building, to me, you're starting off a legacy. So basically, I want you to do the things that, not I need, I want, but it makes you better, because that's what we're building. What we're trying to build together. I want you to make me better where I'm weak at, and I want to make you better where you're weak at, because our kids is going to watch that. And that's just it, because our kids are going to watch how we react. But if you're not liking what I do, what I say, then if you're not willing to it, then what's the sense of just us building on? I think sometimes some women or some relationships, they want you to change to what they want you to do, but they don't change in their ways sometimes. That's some of these, I'm gonna say, young chicks, young girls. And that's what I have experienced in dating, is like, you want me to change, I will change, show you I will change if you're willing to change with me, but you can't remain the same and want me to, that's not fair.
Well, in any relationship, growth is necessary. And whether it's growth for, learning how to cook, growth in any kind of form of fashion, growth is necessary. And if a person is not willing to grow, especially if they're in a relationship, what's going to happen? It's going to be stagnant. It's just like this plant. If you don't put water into it, Correct. It doesn't get sunlight, it doesn't get that, it's going to wivel up, I can't even talk. It's going to dry up, So you got to provide stuff for it. It needs stuff. And that's just like a relationship. You got to provide, growth. You got to provide sunshine. Sunshine is, the love and the happiness. And that's not necessarily going to say that's going to be all the time, because we know, too, we need the rain also, unfortunately, because we need that water to help us grow. So, Correct. Growth, especially in the newer generation, seems to be slower than what it was in our generation, because I think our generation's more apt to learn some stuff, but we're still set in our own
ways,
in our ways too, but at least we're more flexible because our parents made us more flexible.
I think our generation, we was willing to learn, is because some of us was taught inside of a home probably with grandmother, mom, and probably dad. If not, you still had a strong enough foundation around you where mom and dad was teaching you. You were learning from your cousins who are around you, and it was we went out and get it, and learned how to do it. I think nowadays this generation now wants you to give it to them instead of learning how to get it or getting up trying to get it. I think they're afraid of failure. Us, we to me it wasn't really no failure. It was just, I'm gonna try to do it. If I don't do it, then I say it failed. I'm gonna try to do it until I get it right. Like, I'm not gonna stop. And I think that the generation now was just more of, if it's not given to me, that I don't know how to do it, or they claim they don't want to do it, or I wasn't taught that. None of us came out with instructions on how to do anything, So we have to go out there and get it. We're not looking for the light. We're gonna go find that light, and we're gonna do it. Might not do it like you, but we're gonna do it to a point to where I accomplish something for myself.
I think our generation ruined this generation.
It did.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because we were left to our own devices, so we were so independent. Yes. We thought our children were going to be independent too.
Correct. Yeah. That's
so
true.
We wasn't really hands-on with them. And I can say from a fact, my older son, he learned most of his stuff, as he says, from YouTube, TikTok, stuff like that. And I was like, well, why didn't you come to me for it? Oh, well, you was always off doing this, doing that.
And we want to teach him. Because we wanted for we were doing something. And that's funny you say that, because, back when we was growing up, even in the communities, like a bike. A bike had a flat tire. Back in the days, we either had some pliers or some vice grips, take somebody else's bike and take that tire off. Or we'll go to Kmart or whatever and get a patch, learn how to patch it, learn how to fix it, do it yourself. These kids get flat nowadays and just, can you give me a new tire? And they won't go do it. And if you don't get the tire from the parent, the bike's going to sit in there. That's what's
What?
sitting around.
They want a new
So
bike.
they want a new bike.
I was like, you can change a wheel,
You
honey.
can change your wheel. YouTube. You know, I've learned so much off of before I ask somebody because I'm always so independent. I'll go to YouTube first. Even things around the house. Let me see how to fix this pipe before I call a plumber. Let me see there's something now. There's something. Ooh, I'm gonna need that. I ain't got it. All right, then I call you. But if something that I know that I can do, I'll try it first. And then when somebody else called me, hey, you know how to fix it? Yeah. So that's gonna cost you a little something. Might not cost you if you call Mr. Plumber, but as you go, teach you something. How you? Women say that to me. You know how to do so much things around the house. For one thing, I grew up around the house, see my uncles and stuff, and to help them. Plus, YouTube. YouTube teaches me a lot of stuff, and you could do the same thing. But you can go in there and tell what Beyonce at, what she doing, how she doing, instead of you learning something for yourself to make you a better individual.
Right.
So we're not gonna say women and men, but an individual. Because a lot of us don't know how to get it, or they don't want to do it. They want somebody else to do it for them.
Yeah, it's a lazy society. It really is, and I noticed that it's all about convenience.
Yes.
Everything is about convenience.
Yes.
And even in relationships, it's about convenience. What can I get from this person? What can I do to enhance my life from this person? And I think that's another reason why we don't have a lot of healthy relationships now, is because a lot of people are just looking to quote unquote scam or benefit or something of that sort, instead of trying to work on themselves and make themselves better. It's easier for people to make the excuse of, well, I'm just that way. I was just born that way or built that way, instead of doing the introspection and doing the hard work to change.
Yes. That's true.
So I think whoever fits that mold at that time, it's just easier for them to latch on or just deal with that instead of trying to fix themselves first.
So definitely, and I agree. Another thing I think we should discuss outside of the bedroom is, if you're gonna, build with somebody, talk about bills. What bills that you have that's coming, and vice versa, so we can help each other, so we can stack together. I think everybody just goes on. Can you pay my phone bill? Can you do that? They just ask. They want you to do it. Well, you paid it at one time, but we ain't discussing what I'm going. You know what I'm saying? It's just more like a more demand when it comes to. But some of the stuff you have to really ask, so you don't feel used.
Yeah, but that goes into the word intimacy. People don't realize intimacy is not just when they think physical intimacy. Intimacy means closeness. It means trust. It means a whole lot of things. And there's intimacy in everything that you do. Because just like us, you have to trust me to be here for the podcast.
Correct.
That's an intimate relationship.
Correct.
Even though it's working and friendship, it's still an intimate relationship, because you are relying on me for something and I'm relying on you for something.
Correct.
So, there's not a lot of transparency and intimacy, especially in Atlanta. It's a lot of, people wanting to be bigger than what they are, and showing, I got this, I got that, and they don't have a pot
to pissing.
Nor right, nor a window
to throw shit out.
So it you have to be true to who you are. You have to be transparent, because if you're not transparent, how are you gonna grow?
Facts. And stop basing everything on, we're going down to the sex. That's a, and when you do, cause he look good, she look good, I'm gonna just give you a key. Do not put all your tricks out in one night in the bag. I'm just telling you, just don't do everything all in one night to try. It happens, and it does. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Like you said, it's depending on that person. Sometimes you got to keep a stimulating mind on the what if. Women, back in the days, they didn't dress the way they dress now. It was more provocative. It's more of, you had to guess on what she think. So it made you, I want to be with her. It made you work harder for it, because you want to see what's under that dress or that sundress and all that. Now it was just tights. Tights ain't nobody working out. They just looking sexy. So of course you looking like you just a cloth away from being naked. So of course someone has that with you. You want to put all the tricks out in one day. Like, wow, are you for real? Sometimes that's a turn off. You think that's another thing? Oh.
Do you, as a male, feel like that women need? What is sexy to you? Let me ask you that.
Sexy to me is taken in the bedroom.
Or
to me, sexy
we're
to me
still outside right now.
It's confidence. knowing who she is, knowing what she wants, knowing when she gets up in the morning, she still look good to me. That's and she knows it. She don't care. You know, she might go, oh that, oh, I gotta get dressed while you. You know what I'm saying? To me, a beautiful woman, to me, a ponytail, wife beater, some jeans on, maybe some sneakers on, and she looks normal. And you give me the sense of, what does she look good dressed up? To me, that's sexy. And she just confidence. A confident woman is sexy to me, especially athletic. You know, I mean, that's just sexy. Period. But a woman besides, the look, the mental of just being confident, knowing I'm that woman. I'm a wifey. I'm a girlfriend. I'm a friend. Whatever you want me to be, but she knows what she is. To me, that's sexy. Knowing what she wants.
Okay. When is it a turn off when a woman is too confident?
When you, wow, that's a good one. I think having a conversation with them, and they feel like you're talking to them, or you're talking at them instead of to them, and they get defense mode so much. Like, hope we're just having a conversation. Like when I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking in third person, but when you were just thinking, wow, what? Well, it wasn't. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about you. I'm talking to you. And to me, that's the sort of turn off. Like, wow, she thinks. To me, that's just a cockiness of she don't know how to accept destructive criticism. That's my opinion.
Well, that's a flaw right there. Anyway.
Facts. So, what's the same thing with you? What's sexy for a man? Instead of he just being tall, what's sexy for tall, dark, and handsome? What's sexy? Some women like bellies. So you know what I'm saying. So what's sexy for a average woman? You think that they want in a man?
Someone who has goals, the confidence, the a woman. Well, let me speak for myself. I want someone who looks like they know where they're going. I'm not, the term ride or die chick. Where we riding?
We riding.
You know what I'm saying? I don't mind riding with you, but where we riding?
Going? Correct.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be riding quote unquote good. I need to know you have, a vision, a goal, a flow. Are you stagnant? Are you building? What is your dreams? What is, I need to know what's going on with you. If I sit there and say, what are you doing? Oh no, I'm
just chilling.
I know what. Can you use some words? Can you enunciate? Gotcha. That's my thing. Some women say, oh, well, it's hygiene, it's this, it's that. Yeah, all that kind of plays into it. But I need to know that you have a mental capacity for a conversation first.
Correct. And I got to know if you have my back. Because we're going to go, it's life. We're going to go through hard times. We're going to go through difficult times. You're going to have a bad day, I'm going to have a bad day. But on my bad days, are you there to lift me up? Or just, you good? You straight? Oh, okay. And going about your life. You're not having my back. It's not always got to be financially. Sometimes it's definitely mentally. If you can't notice that something is wrong with me, that's a turn off. Because I know when something's wrong with you. You good? You straight? Can we talk about it? Okay, you don't want to talk about it? I can't force you. It means I got your back. Let's talk about it whenever you want to talk about it. But if you just shut me off when it comes to my situations, that's definitely not a turn off. Because if you can't wait or talk the situation to make me better, make me feel better, then what's the sense of you just being here? It's just like wasted time. Like I said, we're at an age and a stage now where I don't know how much sand I got coming out of my hourglass. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm looking and want that part of happiness. But are you willing to be there and make sure that I'm good, or make sure our children, when I'm gone, are taken care of? And again, that'd be financial. Just still that mentally. There's a lot of things we miss out. We think because financially, we think me and LA was talking about this earlier, where our parents just think they wasn't. Some of us, they're not there mentally. They're there financially because they think they take care of the house and all that. But you're not there to teach me what I need to know. But then as I get older, you want to teach me. It's too late now. Like I needed this back then, and this is where I'm probably weak at, what I should have been strong at. But now I'm stronger, learning how to do it myself to make sure my kids do it. So the same thing with relationship. Teach me the things that probably your parents taught you. Tell you how I was learned. And let's equal balance it, and let's raise this dynasty, let's raise this kingdom together, because it's not all about financial things. Because there's gonna be highs, there's gonna be lows. Well, are you there at my low time?
Yeah.
And we miss that. And when we talk about we instead of talking about it, we fuss about it. We get angry. or you want to go cheat. The reason for you to go cheat or do something disrespectful outside the relationship. And I think that's a lot of that going on. Instead of they getting mad, instead, I'm going to my mom's house, but you're really going to your girl's house, or blah, blah, blah. Talk about it. The first thing they leave out of the house instead of sitting there and talk about it. I'm not going to leave out of the house. I might go downstairs and sleep on the couch. I'm not feeling you right now. But I'm not going to leave. Some of these nowadays, it seems like they leave or on the phone with somebody else. I was talking to him because you know what I'm saying? Like, that was just your reason to do what you want to do. But if you're not combining to be one, why be wasting time? And I think nowadays more relationships are just having fun. We had that when we were young, teenage years. Now as we're old, they're playing it like it's a game, and I don't play that.
What do you think we should do as a society to strengthen the relationship? Like how you were saying, there's a lot of cheating going on. Do you think it's a lot of cheating going on for men and women? Let me clarify that. Do you think it's because we accept it more as a society, or do you think it's because we don't hold our people accountable?
I think we don't hold our people accountable. For a man, from a man's point of view, a man would not change for a woman just because she says she loves you, she loves me, or vice versa, or having a baby. A man's only going to change for a woman if he loves that woman. So you got just saying, they use that word so frequently, I love you. What's the word love means to you? Because your love might be different to me. Love to me is more like a family oriented. Everything you say, everything you do, all I see is you, all I hear is you. If just saying I love you, just using it as a word just to get some or get close to somebody, I think a lot of them use that as a form of getting the key, unlocking that door, and you treat it the way you want to treat it. That's just from a man's point of view. Like, I will change for somebody if I know that you'll change too. It's because I want to show you that I can do it. Can you do it? But if you don't do it, then why am I changing for you, but you're not changing for me to make this? I think as we look as the Beyonce, Jay-Z's, we're looking for good black relationships. We don't see that. We just, and when we do see it, we embrace it. We're trying to find flaws about it. I want a good, healthy relationship. I want somebody, when I'm out here in these streets in your home, I'm representing you. And I hope when you out here, you're representing me. But if you're out here cheating and doing everything, that's how we doing this? That's to me, you're not representing as you was. Back in the days when grandma was home, grandpa was probably doing his thing, but grandpa was out there representing the family. You didn't hear about him unless somebody snuck off or told about it, but it was just, it's so common. I feel like as you look at the internet, we could look on Facebook or Instagram, somebody always cheating. Somebody's always in somebody's DM. And that's another thing about outside the relationship. Stay out of that person's privacy, to me. I'm not going into your phone. Matter of fact, I might not even want to follow you. It's because if I see something I'm not like, of course, I'm human, I'm going to get upset. But I don't even want that, because whatever you do in the dark's going to come to light. And if you're messy and keep messing around, it's going to show. And you just got to read the signs and just, you know what? I don't like that. But you just going, who's that? Why they DMing you? Why they only that? To me, that's too much of a controlling. I think a lot of people nowadays, they want to be in control, but they're not controlling together. I think our culture, one wants to be in control of everything, whether it's the female or the male. I don't think y'all both got to be in control together, in different situations.
So the trust factor, you would say, is out the window.
Out the window. The window.
I know, but as a man, what would a trust building situation look like to you? How do you build trust in your relationships with somebody?
Say what you mean what you say. Like, you're telling me you're gonna call me back, and even though that's not small, but still that's small. It's something. Yo, I'm gonna call you right back. All right, I'm gonna keep you on your word. To me, no matter what it is, I'm not gonna call you back. Why you ain't call me? Because you said you're gonna call me back. Well, that's petty. That's not petty. That's teaching you with me. Mean what you say, or say what you mean. No, you say, oh, okay, no. You want me to keep calling you? No. So it's just the small things. We gotta teach it as if it's a job or interview. You really have to do the small things, because if you can't not handle the small things, then what's gonna happen when the big things come? If you say we're going out next week, okay, I'm holding that out. I'm gonna stop doing what I'm doing. Oh, something came up and all that stuff. Okay, cool, fine. Are you mad? No. But at least you should have told me you knew this prior to it. Don't wait till the night of, or it's 8 o'clock, supposed to be at 8, and you're being 8:15. Oh, I'm blowing your phone up because I took time out of my time to stop. So we can just mean what you say and say what you mean. To me, it's just, even though it's a little stuff. You say you're going to come by. All right, I'm waiting for you to come by. I'm not going to keep calling you, what time. You say you're going to come by. Let me know you're going to come by. Teaching you on how your value of your word is. So if I say I'm coming, if I say I'm going to call you back, I'm going to call you back. Not tomorrow, oh, I fell asleep, all that stuff. That's fine. That means I wasn't important for you to call me back. So I look at little things like that. And people might not think about it, but this is how I judge you, is just the little things. Is that from a woman point of view, is that a good thing, a bad thing? Because you know how women are.
No, it's not a bad thing. I think respect of anybody's time is always important.
Correct.
Being accountable for what you say is also important. I know sometimes, like for me, things get a little muddled sometimes. Yeah. And what I usually do is I will send a text message. Hey, I know that I was supposed to call you at 12. Something's going on. Is it okay that I call you later? I always try to check in at least. Or, because I would want somebody to do that to me. And, I try to be the person. In any relationship, I always say, do unto others, just like the Bible. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it to nobody else.
Correct.
So I try to live by that for everything, whether it's trust, communication, confidence, no matter what it is outside of the bedroom, like we said, for a healthy relationship, that's what I
And then people, it's not, let's say that we lost the behalf because we grew up on church. So whether we believe in the Bible or not, we use certain quotes and we use certain phrases in the Bible that got us. I think these kids don't even know what a Bible is until they get in trouble. Then they want to call on the Lord, and then they want to go to church. But we was built like that, and I don't see that. And I think it's more of a community coming together. And I think that's what we're trying to do with the podcast. It's just give you, good advice and stigmas on how to be better. We can't be perfect because there's such thing as perfect, but we can be better at some of the common things that's in our community, in our relationships that's around us. And from a male point of view and a female point of view, I think that's what we're trying to bring to the people, because we all, 9 times out of 10, may have common situations in our life that we've been through. And the only way we can do it is, talk about it.
Right.
So if anybody out there who wants to call in or text us in or message us, and you have a subject you want to talk about it, just please DM us, how you say it, inbox us, whatever you want to say, and let's make a topic, because these are things I don't want to talk about. The bad stuff, the negativity. We're gonna talk about that, but talk about to be good, but we want to talk it to a sense where it becomes hereditary, we're doing it all the time. We want to have fun, enjoy ourselves, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're representing each other and being accountable for what we do. Now, out inside the bed, I'm gonna say be at your own risk. Be at your own risk. Yeah. I'm telling you, for a male, females, don't rock the mic the first night. Do not sing on the mic the first night. Leave that home. Leave that for the next situation. Like I said earlier, do not take all your tricks out in one bag in one night. Because trust me, you're not going to keep that man's mind wandering. And that's just me. The first time in bed, keep it boom boom boom. Make him think you don't rock the mic, you don't sing. You might, oh shoot, I'm the very one. Then when you rock the mic, hope she don't say, I never did this before. We'll know if you know how to sing. So ladies, don't say that.
So when it comes to being, now we're talking in the bedroom, what does intimacy look like for you?
Man, it's a different
physical intimacy.
It's 3 levels. Either you making love, you having sex, or you fucking. You feel what I'm saying? So it depends on the intimacy. Is like that in between sex and making love. You feel what I'm saying? It's intimacy. Some chicks, they want to just get fucked. You feel what I'm saying? That's okay. That's cool. To me, that's talk. But to me, intimacy is more like you're feeling me. You're feeling the moment. So it's more like, oh man, this is great. She's let me inside of her. I'm inside. Boom. and you can just tell by just the feeling. You get them goosebumps sometimes. I mean, I don't know how females do, but some males get that. That's probably why sometimes they be like, "Nah, let's just fuck." Because once you start touching me, I start getting in my feelings. Because at that time we get in our feelings. But intimacy for that is just, man, it's just doing like I said, in between love and sex. Fucking, that's just give me before I go to work. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it in the back of the car. To me, that's what I mean. So that's for me inside the bedroom.
So would you say you need a mix of all three of those for your relationship?
Yes, I want. If you just how you say a dead, just sit in the bed and just like it one way, it's not gonna work. Especially if we're trying to build something, because I want it. Each time I come here, I want to learn something different. I want to do something different. It's because what I don't do, as they always say, the next person will. But that's why I said don't always rock the mic, or sometimes to the men, don't always go out there and cut that grass, because sometimes I just might want my mic rocked and don't want them, because I'm pretty sure women just, I don't want to have sex tonight. I just want to, okay, I'll cut your grass tonight. Boom, 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 boom. That means you're going to rock this mic one time. So it's just, that's how when it comes to, but don't do the same thing all the time. To me, I want to keep it to a point where, what's she going to do this time? What are we going to do? I think that not knowing what's going to happen keeps the relationship sparked. Okay. When I know that I'm going to, all she want to do is just hit it from the back. That gets boring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The same way. That's it. And most men get bored quick. I don't know on women. But is there times where you don't want to make physically love, but you just want your grass cut?
Yeah.
See, so men 1 or 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it just and that's just knowing your man, like, baby, wake him up and just boom, boom. Okay, go. That's sexy. And she sent me off. Good. Not, okay, when she did me, okay, my turn. Dad, like, you feel what I'm saying? It's just sometimes give us that, damn, she just did that. Damn, what's she going to do it again? That's that to me. I think, I say this a lot. Men fall in love with strippers not because of the sex. A stripper or a hooker knows how to make that man feel like a man at that point in time. If a man, and quote this, if a man has a wife and she's the only one who have sex with her, he knows how that sex is going to be, and he's having part-time with a stripper or a hooker, which is his side chick. If both of them call and say, honey, I need to come home he's out, come home real quick, I'm going to give you some, where he going to go first?
He going to go to the side chick first.
Because you know what he going to get. Over here, she knows she had a bunch of men, but he don't care about that. At that particular time when we're stuck and our mind is in our feet, and she make us feel like it's the best dick sex in the world. And women need, don't fake it. We know when you're faking it, but whether she's faking it or not, she knows how to stimulate that mind and make that mind right. And that's why most of them, and to me, when a man, like I say, half the time black, because they say black men don't cheat. He's only cheating is because he's something at home is not being right. If she's not rocking the mic, and he gonna go over there and get his mic right. But while she's rocking the mic, she's embracing his mind with something else. So it's like, oh shoot, it's stimulating. So he just didn't get his thing. I'm getting over here and get my rock mic at home. She doing this. Okay, baby, it's time to go to bed. It's time to eat. You feel what I'm saying? So it's more of whatever the communication, everything we saying, you have to do that at home and not allow the person outside to do it, because they will. Mm-hmm. They will.
Now, I've heard this statement before from guys, of course, from what I do, and they said that they don't know why they cheat.
I know why I cheat, and I'll tell you straight up. If you're irritating me, or I feel like you're cheating, I'm a cheat. And the reason why I'm a cheat is not no karma thing. It's more of, if I allow my girl to come back home and she cheated and I know the stuff, and now it's easy access to get back with the dude, because we grew up in the back in the days, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have easy access. It was either you call the phone, you went over there, you cheated, stayed home. But nowadays it's so easy access. If I'm thinking every time you go out, you're still going to see that guy, you're still going to see that man. So guess what? I want to put that same feeling I'm feeling of you in you. So I guess I'm gonna go out here and cheat, and that's the only reason why I cheat. Other than that, I don't cheat. I get to the point where I'm fed up and all that. Then I say I go cheat. But I'm only doing it because you did it, and I know you did it. But you're sitting here lying to me. Or that's how I do it. Everybody has different reasons. But I'm only gonna cheat if you cheat, because I'm gonna give you the same pain you give me. I want you to feel the same thing. So every time I'm on my phone, you're gonna think I'm with her, talking about texting her, because that's what I'm thinking you're gonna be doing. So that's why I'm gonna do the same thing. So you're gonna cut it before I shut it. So I'm gonna let you know before they get go. If you're gonna cheat, and if somebody asks a question 9 times out of 10, they know the answer. So if I ask you, you fucking around? Either you're doing something, you're out of your schedule, you're doing something different. Cause I'm asking you, and if I find out that you're lying to me, that's the perfect time for you to tell me. If not, it's because I already know you're lying to me. Then that's a deal breaker.
So if somebody is cheating and they admit it, is it fixable to you?
Depends on who it is. When you cheat, 9 times out of 10, when women or men ask who is she or who is he, we want to find out if we know that person, because I'm not fighting or getting upset with somebody who I don't know, because evidently y'all had a conversation to where, hey, you know about me? Yeah. All right, y'all was having difficult. But if somebody you knew that me and my woman was into something, then I'm not fighting you because you had sex with my woman. I'm really on your asses because you disrespected me and you was playing me the whole time. And I think women do the same thing, but women do that regardless. Who is she? Might not even know her. Where you know her from? Man, fuck that. But why you gonna call her bitch? You don't even know her. But me is more, who's that dude? Who is he? Or okay, I can't even get mad at you because I don't know you. You know, and I had a situation like that where I got out of prison, asked my baby mother before we get back to Atlanta, pull over, is there anything I need to know before I get back to the city? And she was like, no. You sure? I'm giving you the opportunity before the streets talk, because people are going to talk. Got out, and evidently she did. Found out who the dude, she was messing around, found out the dude was like, oh, well, you. Then once you get caught, then they want to use a reverse psychology. Well, you did the same thing too. I said, you know what? To be honest, if you was locked up for a year or some change, I would have cheated. I'm a cheater, but what can you do for me? But the day you get out, I'm telling that shorty, it's over with. My girl's coming home, we getting back together, we're doing our thing. So don't be no bull crap. So if you love that person, do that person, you would do that, because I got needs to fill. I got needs to be fulfilled. And if you're not doing it, find someone else who did it. So that's why I couldn't get mad with her. That's why it was her point for her to be a woman, but like, yes, I was messing around, but you didn't. So that means, to me, you did it messy. It's because you could have got away with it if you just said, yeah, and boom, boom, and then I wouldn't heard from it. Or you just said no, and I never would have found out. But evidently, you was moving messy because the street started talking. So it's just more of being who you are at the end of the day, where I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm a cheat because you cheat. Plain and simple. Let's fix this together. So it depends on, it could be fixable. It depends on who the person is. Or what am I doing for you to go out there and cheat? Why are you cheating?
Okay. Say the scenario, nobody's cheating, and it just happens to come up that, somebody's pursuing you or something like that. How do you squash that?
I just had to talk that out. That's kind of never experienced that, so I never don't know how to exactly wander around that one. I just keep it simple. I don't ask questions I don't want to know the answer to. Especially like you said nowadays, it's easier to say that's my friend, that's my cousin. You know what I mean? Your emotions and how you treat and talk to me, and I can see how you talk to that person. I could tell, y'all did something before. Because it's like everybody's so, loose with each other. Like nowadays, sex it's not sacred as it used to be. I grew up where if you having sex with a woman, and like I was raised by a woman, so she said this: when you let a man inside of you, that means I'm giving you me. I'm giving you my world. I'm giving you my life. And that's what I always thought when I was having sex with girls coming up. Like, oh man, she's feeling me because she's let me into her life, because that's what I was taught, as my mother told me. But some women just let you inside just to be coming inside. So, and you got to find out which one she is, because all right, that's the difference between that sex, love, and you just let me inside, I'm just gonna fuck you then. If you're allowing me to enter your world, you ain't have sex in a long time, and you're feeling me, you're really giving me that you're sacred to me. You're secret. That's what my mama said. She said those are your secrets. So if she let me into her secret, then you're feeling me. So I take that having sex, making love, I take that for real. Okay. Not just how to be doing it. Been locked up before, so I play with myself. Keep it one. And get one guy if you don't. Yeah, so we gonna keep it 100 out here because there's women out here who play with themselves. I play with myself. I done had sex with Beyonce, Ashanti. A lot of chicks in the club that just didn't know they got hit. They got hit that night. And, hey, it was safe. I ain't had nobody calling my phone. So trust me, sex is the least, but it's the most when I'm in a relationship. Mm-hmm. I don't have to have it every day when we just friends. But once we start moving and start living together and start doing that stuff, I'm doing it every day. Because I ain't giving nobody. I have to have it every day. Every night before we go to bed. I feel like every night to me should be love making in your home, unless she's on, unless Little Red Riding Hood's is in town, or she's paying. But to me, every night should be at least some type of intimacy. When we get up in the morning, we're getting up to start the world, rule the world, take care of our business. When we come home, now we're together. Man, we went out there, we conquered, we did what we supposed to do. Now let's embrace ourselves because we're building this dynasty. That's my opinion of once we get lay in that bed. We got to touch, we got to hump, we got to do something just so passionate. We had a great day together. That's my sign of we had a great day together.
Okay.
It's just every night. Try every night. There's something. He got
some sort of intimacy.
Some kind of intimacy before we go to bed or go to sleep because I might not wake up. At least I went there. Oh, he held me. He kissed me. He held. You feel what I'm saying? Some type of intimacy once we get to bed. I can't sit in the bed and just have my feet on you, love on you. No, I got to hold you at night. There's some kind of intimacy I have to have before I go to sleep if I'm dealing with a woman. That's just me.
Okay. Well, we see that intimacy is important to you. What would you say for a guy or a person in general who doesn't have that fire in them for intimacy? How did you obtain yours, so to say?
I don't know. Sometimes if they want to do it in the bed, I try to do it during the day. You know, something like I know some women who don't like public intimacy. They don't like to be holding hands and be held out public to me. I'm like, why? That's just to me. Because to me, when I'm out, I want the world to see what I got. I want the world to see, to me, if I see two people holding hands or hugging inside a grocery store during that period, to me, that's the first sign to me. I'm looking like they love each other. So I want people to know that he's in love or they're happy. Mm-hmm. I want that to see that he's happy or she's in love or they love each other. That's the type of image I want to be when I'm out with my person. I might be in a grocery store, we just hold. I just want to sit right behind you, just hold you. Just that's just showing you I'm happy with what I got. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But if I don't show if I don't show you no intimacy, I might think you're thinking I don't want you, or might think I don't want to be with you. So of course I'm doing that to show you, man, he loves me. He really likes me. He's really into me. Now, to me, once I stop doing it, that's when you're gonna start. Why you ain't hold me like that? Why you ain't touch me like that? Mm-hmm. So that's my sign. So people have their signs of when they're not feeling you or touching you. That's why you got to learn that person. So when that red sign hit, then you start asking questions. You cheating? Mm-hmm. Is there somebody else? Then why you ask that? Because you stopped holding my hand and you feel what I'm saying? So if you notice that I stopped doing that, then you know that, damn, he might be doing it to somebody else. Might be. Because you're not doing it or you're not accepting it. So it's more of, I never really had that problem because most women I dealt with, like what I bring. Mm-hmm. But it's just when I stop doing it, they start, what's wrong? And you start, this was wrong. What happened with this? That's just, I can say it's a normal relationship, but that's how I grew up because I grew up with a female, not with a male in presence. Mm-hmm. So some of the male things, I don't know how to. Some women might, grew up around a household that was crazy. My uncles and aunts was together. My home, my mom was young. She had stepdads, but it wasn't, as I got older, they was there for my mother because they're not there for me now, so you wasn't there then. So I really had no male figure to learn how to be a man to a woman. So I just learned I got so much intimacy and I'm so into my feelings is because I was raised around a woman. Mm-hmm. So she talked to me about what women are. But the male part, I don't know how to, they say some men of this, some men of that. That might not be me. It's because I never was instilled that, don't know that. Mm-hmm. I can't be that if I don't know, if I ain't learn it.
Right. Do you feel like you missed out on that part of your life?
I think yes, is because that's why I think me and Ellie were talking about this earlier. It was more, I missed out on it is because I don't know how to be that. And this is why I'm probably single now. It's because probably how I go into the relationships. I'm probably going there too strong. Sometimes I might go in there too weak. I don't really know how to go into it in a balanced way. You feel? But I'm learning on that is because I'm raising my kids. It's more I'm seeing how the boy and the girl reacts. So I'm teaching them. But when it comes to when it comes to trying to get a relationship, I guess I don't know how to. Cause I come off strong. Hey, I'm looking for wifey. If you ain't looking for that, doing that, then don't waste my time. Because I have everything I need right now is probably except for that. And most of us, we try to look for relationships so we can try to build something together, which we can build something together. I just have something over here that's good. Maybe you can come in here and I can help you build and we can help each other build. But don't, I think there's a lot of intimidation out here in this world now is because a woman wants a man or a man wants a woman probably who are already together because he got his stuff together. Sometimes somebody might have it together, but it just might be at the slump where they had to, sometimes they have to start over. So if they know how to start over, but they've been there before, I can deal with that. You ain't got to have everything, but have you been there before? Because then you know how to structure and how to, you know what I'm saying, get to the top. If you've never been there before and never do that, but I've been here, you feel what I'm saying? It's like, what? I can't teach you and beat you at the same time. So if you've been there before, your husband took the kids and all that stuff, okay, so you know how to do it. So there's some things that she should already instilled in her that can help build the relationship.
Okay. So do you, with that being said, do you look at divorced people as damaged goods?
No, it's because I just think at that time, people come into your life for reasons and seasons. Just because they got married, I don't know why they got married. Some people get married for the wrong reasons. But evidently you got married where y'all, I guess, felt like y'all fell in love. But see me, that's damn good. That person might not been the right for you. You might have stayed. It's because you might have been old school. You want to stay because you want to see the kids grow up together in one house. Now they're gone. Now I want to get rid of him or I want to get rid of her. Or you're doing this because you was broken. He had money. You feel what I'm saying? So it depends on the situation of the marriage. Now that's the only question I'll ask what happened. It's because marriage to me is, oh, y'all been in for years. You could be with a boyfriend, girlfriend for years. But you ain't really married. To me, it wasn't official enough for you to do that. So for me, I don't care what you do with the last relationship or what happened in the relationship. That's when I ask how many relationships have first. I ask, have you been married? No. Okay, you never been married. And you're my age. How many relationships have you been in the last 5 years? Those are the questions I ask. So it stimulates to something where, you know what I'm saying? Where is it you? Is it like Halle Berry? You've been married, messing around so many times. She's so pretty. Everybody say, oh, I marry her. I wouldn't because evidently you've been married so many times. Or J-Lo, you've been married so many times quickly. It's just the look. That's why you marry her. There's something wrong when she's inside the house, or something's not working right. So those are little things that I look at. So if you've been in a relationship 3 times in the last 5 years, then you don't like long relationships. I've been in 3 relationships. I'm 47. I've been in 3 deep relationships. One was 7, one was 10, the other one was 6. So it's more than a year. 6 is a long time. You feel what I'm saying? But evidently it didn't work out. And they was married. So I think marriage is not damn as good to me. She's experienced. So
Okay.
To me, she's experienced. So her being married and being divorced, okay, so you should know what it takes and know, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the expectation I want. Because she knows, so she's gonna have expectation. I'm gonna have expectation. Cool. So to me, marriage is great. You've been in it, but 4, 5, 6 marriages, nah.
Now see, this is my 3rd marriage, and the first time I got married was in the military.
So was that forced or was that for the money? I know people who've been in the Army who got married just for the money.
My situation was that I was dating this guy before I went to the military. I went to the Navy. And I was dating this guy, and I went to the Navy. We still wasn't married or anything, and he married me because he wanted to be with me. And looking back on it, I think I was pressured into it because my dad, God rest his soul, never got into my relationship. First of all, my dad was 41 when I was born.
That's one thing I know. I don't get in my kids' relationship.
So he was...
We talk about it, but I know.
Yeah, he was hands off. Like I said, he was 41. At this time, he's wondering why he's still having kids. He was ready to be done. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, I don't give a fuck what you do. Just don't go to the hospital and go to jail. I don't care what you do.
Cool.
That was his statement. Every time I went out, don't go to the hospital, don't go to jail.
Good philosophy. I'm going to use that now. I like that one.
So, he used to write me when I was in the military, my dad, and he was like, I think he really loves you. And, he asked me. So I felt that pressure because, like I said, my dad stayed out of my business a lot.
So when he said it,
I was like, oh, well, maybe I should. So, and he was like, he asked me for permission and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay, so I'll marry him because daddy said so. And I don't think that I really thought it out. I didn't think that
So you did it to please your dad?
I felt pressured.
Okay.
Because at that point, I always respected my dad's opinion because, like I said, he never was in my business. So for him to actually say something, it kind of was like pressure. So I went ahead and got married, and come to find out, it was just horrible. Just it was, constant fighting. It was, mental health issues. It was self-esteem issues. It was all this stuff that he was piling on me. And it came to the fact that, he's like, well, I changed my life for you. I didn't ask you to change your life for me. You wanted to. You remember all the times you went to my parents' house every weekend? Every weekend he would go to my parents' house. And at the time, they was living in Dalton. He was driving from Atlanta to Dalton every weekend. And staying with them. So, it was all these things, all this pressure. So that's why I got married. And then when we finally did move in and get married, and because we never lived together.
Yeah. You guys married, never lived together?
No, when we were dating. Yeah, we both had separate spots. And
see, I got to live with you first before I get married.
And see, that was the thing. I was 21, and I just felt pressured, and I was like, well, I'm 21. Maybe I should start settling down, all this other stuff.
So second marriage, what happened?
Second marriage, he was a police officer. He still is a police officer. Low self-esteem. Never had women in his life.
And he's a cop?
Yeah. So when he puts on the uniform, all the girls is like, oh, he didn't know how to control that.
So he get used to women with uniforms.
So
he sucked.
He didn't know how to handle.
That's why I said, see, different 3 or 4 marriages is cool. So, but you was a good girl, because you know how many girls I tell my daughter I don't like him, but she still fucks with him. So your dad said go with him, you did it. I told my girl I don't like that nigga. He ain't good for you. But she's still sneaking talking to him.
But my thing is,
you did what daddy said. My daughter don't listen to what daddy say.
I'm a Decatur girl.
Decatur was greater.
Exactly. So I was more like a dude. I was more like a nigga than most dudes around Decatur. That's you know what I'm saying? So I know the game. I've been put on the game. I ran the game. So I could see certain things. I knew what I wanted. I knew how I wanted to act. So when all of these things came down the pipe, like even with my second ex-husband, I was like, I'm from here. I know everybody in Atlanta. I am old Atlanta. I went to high school here. I've been here since the 80s. Don't front on me.
You can say fuck.
Right.
Because that's when you really don't fuck with me.
I did,
I know you did.
And I was like, look, I'll find out. And it just kept coming to me, and people were calling me. See? I mean, I'd be at work, and these heifers was calling me.
And they do it. So that's why I said now, the best thing to do in relationships nowadays before we leave is I'm telling you the best thing to do. Keep it quiet. Keep it to yourself. Keep it private. Talk amongst yourselves. Don't talk to your best friends. Don't talk to anybody you have issues. Talk to each other. Because it doesn't work. So I'm learning that the hard way.
That's your ending statement?
That's my ending statement. Just keep it in the house. Whatever you're doing, you mess with somebody, keep it quiet. Keep it secret. Because you want to expose it. You want to tell everybody to show, I'm happy. Don't do that. Because everybody don't want to see you happy.
Especially in Atlanta.
They'll find a flaw. Oh, I know her. She had sex with 4 or 5. See, I didn't want to know all that. I would ask her, but why are you telling me? So, thank you for, like I said, the Damn the Cat podcast. Okay. If you want to get in contact with us, where can they contact you?
Me and my foolishness, you can contact me on Instagram, Cassandra M. Parks. My business, which is Let's Learn Love. My IG page is How to Learn Love. I have plenty of things going on, so please follow me. Wow. Shameless plug. Are you coming to my mail?
Yes. Come on, man. Okay. We're gonna say, you just let me know the date, and I said I'll give it to my assistant.
November 11th.
Oh, that's waiting on that. I might not see November 11th. Yeah, we straight. You know how to find me, man. This is Snap _Judgment. But you can catch us on Ebon Vision. Like I said, you if you want any questions or you want concerns and all that stuff, like I said, with the new podcast out here, we're trying to give new love, new light on the community and the black community. So, you have any questions, any concerns, or let's talk, let's chat, let's work this and do this together. Until next week, I'm Snap.
I'm Dr. Sand.
One love.
Peace.